Good morning. It is September the 14th. Gwen, my co-host, is here today. Thank you for that, Gwen. Let's see the little name tag up on the top. We got that straightened out. So today, minus Kelvin, but we're very proud of the fact that even with that, we've started on time. Thanks, Tish. We've got the background up. We turned the cell phone off. Those of you that watched yesterday's show, you know that can be a puzzle. And so today, we're going to talk about what's on our mind. And since last we spoke, someone's asked, what do you do? Can I get a website development proposal? And so that torch was lit. And part of the website proposal for doing website development, which is what I do, you wondered when I'm not podcasting, is we put together how to integrate social media, and we call them widgets in the case of WordPress, but how to get those onto your site in the appropriate places. And additionally, we can customize various social media properties to have it be branded, to give it your perhaps color, your imaging, if you want everything to be a certain look and so forth. And so getting into what those components are, and as always, we've got the links for everything we talk about will be in the show notes, which are available via click at theguyarcookreport.podbean.com, right? That way we got the graphic in there. And so getting into that list, the first one is to how to have Facebook commenting on the site. So when someone makes comments, they'll show up on your Facebook page as well. And that link is link from facebook.com itself proper, how to set up the plugin for comments. There's a number of other things you can do. The next thing we do is your icons for social media links, and those are the recognizable brand trademarks. One of the things that I won't do is I won't change the color of Facebook from blue to orange so you can have a nice pretty icon of orange, because they've spent thousands of dollars to make these brands, whether it's Facebook or it's Twitter or Instagram or Pinterest or LinkedIn or YouTube or Google Plus. What a mouthful. They're going to have a certain color representative. And in the show notes, I've showed one that, in my opinion, is done wrong. Now, the way I could recognize that is the colors are not all black for all those things. So that being said, the next thing we do is to have your like and share buttons, the social sharing buttons put in there. And there's a WordPress plugin for WordPress that will let you have the social share buttons for a number of places. Usually it's like for Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and other social networks. And so you go through the plugins and find the one that's the best fit for you in most instances. The next thing is your Twitter feed and your hashtags for product and service page feeds. So you can have a service page that's maybe your social media mentions. Okay, that's a service, a deliverable that you have in your company. And so in this reference here, there's 7 tools to present a Twitter stream at your event. If you're going to do event marketing, like come meet with us and find out about email filtering, maybe as a service you're providing, and so forth. So get that a look. The next one we're talking about today, Facebook tabs for opt-in and products and services. There's 15 types of Facebook apps to enhance your Facebook page, and Social Media Examiner put together a good list last year, back in March, that's got the, maybe you're using Libsyn for your feed for your blog, okay? How do you add that in to your Facebook environment? With one of these apps. So give that a look, and then also right below that in the show notes, Facebook and Twitter RSS tied in. So you can take the feed and merge the two together, how to sync your Twitter account and your Facebook account together, so you don't have to enter anything twice, okay? So give that a look. Customize your Facebook page icon and cover page. The profile picture and your cover photo on your Facebook page, very important representation of your brand. Used to be you could only have 20% of your cover photo represent text for your brand. They've now loosened that. They don't have it as a hard and fast rule of 20%. However, if you exceed 20%, they've got a tool that you can measure the performance of that graphic, and they'll tell you whether it'll show up in the feed or not. I made one that was real text heavy just to and measure. And it, in fact, as I expected, it came back and said, nope, this one will never show up. It's too wordy. And so the next one we do as part of this is customize your Google Plus business page. Now, your Google Plus business page is, in short terms, is known as Google My Business. And it's where they recognize your location, your store hours, what's your service area. Into Google Plus shares your information with that piece of your social pie that has Google Plus's interface they choose for choice. And getting near the end, you can customize your Twitter page design. You know, you have a Twitter business page, right? Well, there's 5 steps with pictures that are explained at Wiki and the link there on how you can customize that Twitter page. And the same thing, the last one is Pinterest has a business page. If you get a business page of Pinterest, then you'll get stats. So I'd encourage you to do that. Don't just have a Pinterest profile and call it good, because you won't get the statistics that you do from a business page. Go into the link there, and just last December, they put in a how you can add metadata and get what they call rich pins embedded into your feed. And they even have a validator. We've got the link for the validator there. And you just put in the URL of what you think is good. And one note, you only need to validate and click apply for one link on your Pinterest site to enable rich pins across the whole domain. So you don't have to do each URL and test it separately. Once you do it once, that's good. You've got it covered. So if you're Gwen.com, don't worry about it anymore. Now, in closing, remind you again, the show notes, you can get to them by going to the GuyRCookReport.podbean.com, just like in that graphic that we'll have there. And in the show notes, when you go to that link, you'll see all of the thank yous, like people like Fraser Ramsey at Edinburgh Dusters, the company that likes to clean, and all the thank yous and attaboys and appreciation that we give in the show notes. They're all listed in that link and spelled out in the show notes there. We go down into that, and it also shows you how you can subscribe to the show. This one, it's live on Fire Talk every morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, and think Seattle time. Okay, and the evaluation question there, and the recently, as yesterday, fixed patron link. So if you want to become a patron of the show, $1 a month is all we would ask. Then go to that patron link. We just got that working, and become a patron. Why not? That's something to do. And remember, we always say if it isn't tested, it doesn't work. And that's the vDomain hosting model. And here, when we end the show, we say those 3 magic words. It's a wrap.